Hi, Jamie here. If you're watching this video, you probably have some questions about whether your divorce attorney is the right attorney for you. Frankly, if you're asking those questions, I think you probably already know the answer. But I understand the idea of switching attorneys in the middle of a case can be scary. I can tell you from experience that staying with the wrong attorney, much like staying in the wrong relationship, can have much more costly implications in the end. That said, there may be instances where switching attorneys doesn't make sense, but it's important for you to understand what red flags to consider if you're thinking that maybe your divorce attorney is not the right one for you. In this video, I want to focus on two things. First is, when do you know that divorcing your divorce attorney is the right option for you? And the second is how to go about doing it in the most protective way possible. As for the when, the answer to that question is going to be different for everyone. But what I've gone ahead and done is thought about some red flags that I think you should consider if you're experiencing with your attorney that it may be time for you to cut the cord. Red flag number one is that they don't respond to you. You may have met with them in that initial consultation and it goes months without you hearing from them again. That is a huge red flag. If you call, email, no response, you need to consider getting out of that relationship. Red flag number two is when you finally reach them, but they don't listen to you. They're more interested in speaking over you or impressing you with everything that they know about the law and not listening to what you want to talk about, not answering the important questions that you have, not thinking through the strategy of the case with you. It's their show and you're just watching. Red flag number three, and this is a big one. They never ask you what you want. They don't understand what your goals are long term. They see you only as a short term proposition and aren't thinking about where you're going to be a year from now when the divorce is finally resolved. They're not worried about what your goals are and they don't take the time to ask. I will tell you, one of the questions that I ask in every consult that I do is, what is most important to my client? Because that will guide the strategy and how I consult with them throughout the case. Red flag number four, your attorney is a yes person. They tell you yes to everything that you want, and they assure you that they can get it for you. I will tell you, making those broad assumptions that you can get a client everything they want in a case is setting expectations that may not be realistic. While I would love to tell a client that I can make their dreams happen, I don't have a magic wand. And so it's more important that I'm realistic with a client and make sure that they understand the pros and the cons of the decisions that they're making in their divorce. If you have somebody telling you how wonderful you are and that everything you've asked for is perfectly reasonable and you're going to get it all, you need to realize that that person is blowing smoke up your you know what and get out of there. Red flag number five is that your attorney is only about the money. If you're racking up huge bills and not getting the service that you deserve, that may be a sign that the relationship should be severed. Listen, I understand that divorce can be costly, and we expect that the service that we're giving clients, we're paid for. But if you realize that your attorney is not delivering you the service that they promised at the outset, then you may need to think about that relationship on an ongoing basis. So now that we've covered the when, let's talk about how to divorce your divorce attorney in a way that has the least impact on your case. First, you want to think about the timing. You want to make sure that you're not at a pivotal moment in your case where it would prejudice you. There are restrictions on lawyers in terms of when we can get in or out of cases in New Jersey, and that's something that as a client you want to be mindful of. You don't want to leave yourself in a position where you're without representation or with new representation at a point that doesn't make sense in your case. So you want to make sure, if you're considering divorcing your divorce attorney, that you're talking to the right attorneys and making sure that they're guiding you as to when that should happen. Second, you want to make sure that there's a paper trail. Communicate with your attorney as to why you are severing the representation. Frankly, people make mistakes. And maybe you're saving somebody, a client of theirs, from having the same fate that you did and not getting the service that you deserved. It's really important to be upfront and honest with the attorney, because you want to make sure that A, they're aware that you're seeking this new representation and that there's no question as to when one representation ends and another one begins. Thank you again for watching. If one of these red flags resonated with you, we're here to help, so don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call us. We know that you deserve the service that you're paying for, and we are here to provide it day in and day out. Again, we're here to help whenever you're ready.